Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a vast savanna glowing with golden sunlight, lived a little lion cub named Simba. Now, Simba wasn't just any ordinary cub, he was a prince. Destined to one day rule the Pride Lands, his father, the mighty Mufasa, was a wise and kind king. His magnificent mane like a crown of gold. Mufasa taught his son all about the great circle of life, a beautiful truth explaining how every living thing is connected in a delicate balance, from the sun that rises and sets to the grass that feeds the zebras. Everything has its place and purpose. Simba's best friend was a playful lioness cub named Nala, whose fur was as golden as the evening sky. They were inseparable adventurers, spending their days exploring the vast savanna, chasing butterflies, and pouncing on imaginary foes. Their world was full of joy and endless possibilities. But a shadow loomed over their happiness. Simba's uncle, Scar, a cunning lion with a dark, scraggly mane, secretly craved the throne for himself. One fateful day, Scar's jealousy led him to devise a wicked plan. He tricked Simba and Mufasa into a narrow gorge, right into the path of a terrifying wildebeest stampede. In a heroic act to save his son, Mufasa was tragically swept away by the rushing herd. Heartbroken and filled with guilt, little Simba fled the Pride Lands. Believing his father's death was his fault, he ran until he could run no more, collapsing in a lush jungle, far from everything he had ever known. There he was found by an unlikely duo, Timon, a wisecracking meerkat, and Pumbaa, a kind-hearted warthog. They lived by a simple philosophy, Hakuna Matata, which means no worries. They took Simba and raised him as their own, teaching him to forget his painful past and enjoy a carefree life. Under their care, Simba grew into a big, strong lion, but the memory of his royal lineage and the responsibilities that came with it faded away. Years passed. One day, while playfully chasing a bug, Simba literally bumped into his old friend, Nala. She was overjoyed to find him alive, but was also desperate. She told him how Scar had become a selfish and lazy king, completely ignoring the circle of life. The once thriving Pride Lands had withered into a barren wasteland under his rule. Nala pleaded with Simba to return and take his rightful place as king. At first, Simba was hesitant, still haunted by his past, but then the wise old mandrill, Rafiki, found him. Rafiki reminded Simba of his father's teachings and showed him his own reflection in a pool of water. In his reflection, Simba saw the wise and courageous eyes of Mufasa staring back. He finally understood. He was Mufasa's son, the true king. He couldn't hide from his destiny any longer. He had to fight for his home. With newfound courage, and with Nala and his friends by his side, Simba returned to the Pride Lands. He confronted his uncle with a mighty roar, challenging him for the throne. A fierce battle raged on Pride Rock, remembering his father's lessons and fueled by a love for his kingdom. Simba fought with the heart of a true king. Scar, weakened by his lazy and selfish reign, was no match for Simba's strength and was defeated. With the tyrant gone, Simba ascended Pride Rock. As he looked out over the land, a gentle rain began to fall, washing away the dust and despair. Nala stood proudly beside him. Remembering the wisdom of the circle of life, King Simba worked to restore balance and harmony. The land began to heal, and the animals returned, living together in peace once more. The little cub who ran away in fear had returned as a wise and just king, proving that true leadership comes from facing your past, embracing your responsibilities, and understanding that we are all connected. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures. See you next time.